So that would be similar to mine.
Basically, a sphere of radius 16 millimeters, bam, bam, bam. It's like done. You cannot make a sphere in Google SketchUp in like under a half hour, just about. It's this really odd, like rotate a circle thing. Like in the instructions in Google SketchUp, it says download one.
So
instead, it literally says just download one from the warehouse. Like,
so for the Maya student version, you always have it as long as you're a student, and it's good for 3 years after you quit school.
Yeah.
And it's a full unlocked student version.
Not a bad idea.
The only difference is it just says this is a student version if you actually print something out.
Yeah. I haven't ever touched Maya, but yeah, I hear
similar
things
to that.
about
You
it.
grab a sphere, you drag it, you go over into the outliner, you switch your dimension if you want a 16 millimeter, 5 inches what you want, and then it's just click and drag. If you want to plug a hole through it like that, same thing. Yeah. Super fast, super hands-on. You work on your axes if you want things to line up as opposed to just dragging and dropping them in general. There's no major trim function to worry about. You just punch holes through things. And then you can grab each vertex if you want to, and you can manipulate from there. So if I wanted to just take one vertex that I can see, I can put it in a wireframe version. I can grab that point and just pull it out, and then everything will follow it. So it makes it a very powerful, quick SketchUp program, but for something like this, it would be amazing if you're just creating something for a look. And then if you actually want to scale it to a size, you can do that by exporting it to, say, SolidWorks or wherever.
Yeah.
Because there are no dimensions in mine in particular. It's just a relationship, not a dimension, not a scaled number.
How do you change it to a scale number?
You do it in the program. You can actually say, well, so in other words, if I'm just looking at it, and it's like
I have 3D grid on it.
You can. There's already a grid down.
Okay.
And you can do the grid. You can overlay a grid. You can tell it what size to be. But in general, I consider it digital clay. That's the best way I can make a relationship to it. You have nothing on the screen. You drop a box in there. So now I have a box. I can grab the corner and I can push it in with my mouse. I can grab the corner, I can pull it out with my mouse.
And you can dimension it later?
And then I can go click on whatever that, like let's say I want that box to start out 2 inches by 2 inches, right? I drag and drop a box and it's just there.
Right.
I go over to my outliner and I say, I want this box 2 inches by 2 inches by 2 inches. And now it snaps to that.
Yeah.
But it calls it units.
Right, units.
But you can say inches. You can set it in the machine.
Right.
Right, so I have a 2 by 2 by 2. Now I have this dimensional thing that's a 2 by 2 by 2
while I was messing around,
it knows that,
there's a solid
2 by 2 by 2. Now I can take and turn it into all vertex points. The whole thing grabs vertex points. I can go in the middle and I can go boom, and the whole thing will come out. So it's an amazingly powerful program. It's meant for CG people. It's meant for people who are doing
computer graphics. It's like my buddy at Lucas Labs uses it for. Well, they use it. They use it. They use it all for. They use for Lucasfilms uses all the animation.
All your animation. So Maya is one of the animation platforms, but then what happens is when you go to render it to turn it into a movie, essentially, that rendering can happen in a bunch of different platforms. Right. It's like a layered program. It's like taking this object file and sending it to your RepRap, or taking that object file and sending it to your rendering program.
Right.
It depends on what you're going to do with it. Put it on a turntable, whatever. So there's a lot of different things you can do. The point being that if you want to experiment, the best way to do it is go take a class, then you're experimenting.